In a culture of affluence, it is hard to imagine having no place to go. But for so many, the public transit system is a place to call home.
People freeze to death in the Chicago winters. We have a lot of people who have lost fingers and toes. That train for people who are homeless represents warmth. But beyond that, I think it represents safety. And I think to a certain extent, freedom too. There's not a lot of rules if you're just quiet and you're on the train, if you're not causing a disturbance.
The CTA trains, do in people's minds provide some comfort and safety, at least, being in a public space and well lit, but it's not entirely safe.
These are folks who are completely disenfranchised, who are not using any sort of support services, no traditional mental health services, no doctors, no case management. They're not coming into centers.
The shelters tend not to appreciate their presence due to symptomology and due to their hygiene challenges. And often they can't tolerate the shelters very well, all the structure, all the rules.
A lot of times the paranoia that comes along with mental illness, it's hard for them to feel safe really anywhere.
We bring the full array of services to them wherever they are, letting people tell their stories, because that's the sort of the first building block of getting that relationship going.
It's very hard to hear women and men who have been physically and sexually assaulted repeatedly. Is very hard to hear. But it's very important to be present and hear that.
We don't always go right into saying like we provide mental health services, whatever, because that'll turn a lot of people off.
Being able to say, oh, you seem to really like the blue line of the CTA and I see you here often. Is it okay if we sit down and talk? Have you eaten today?
Instead of saying, this is what we think you need, we're the professionals here, we ask them what they want. What are you interested in? What would you like to do?
The majority of the work ends up being the relationship building and just seeing someone for the next time and see, much like seeing an old friend, their eyes light up when they see you.
Before I met Thresholds, I was riding the Blue Line for about 2 years.
Charles was experiencing a lot of paranoid beliefs and a lot of voices.
I was like, out of it, not knowing where I'm going to get my next meal.
Couldn't really nail him down until one day he said, I'd like to apply for Social Security again. And fortunately for us, we have laptops.
I was riding the train and I met some people from Thresholds and they told me that they could help me.
While we were riding the train to get him lunch, we did the Social Security application on our laptop with him. And from there, he wanted to follow up.
One wonderful thing about his being able to progress, he responded really well to the medication.
He's now with long-term case management, and he has a vocational worker. He's looking into going back to work. So Charles is really doing fantastic.
They got me a place to stay, and I started to live again.